You are listening to the Network Marketing Mindset Podcast with Deb Erickson, episode number 10, an interview with another one of my A-teamers, Hayley Hobson.
Welcome to the Network Marketing Mindset Podcast, where you'll learn how to transform your mindset and achieve massive success in your network marketing business. Here's your host, business mindset coach, Deb Erickson.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's Deb again, and it's time for another podcast where we're going to interview one of my A-teamers. And you remember the reason I call them my A-teamers is if I was in the business again, this is a woman I would go after, right? In other words, she's one of those people that is impressive in any industry. But let me tell you a little bit about my guest today. My guest is Hayley Hobson. And Hayley is a double presidential diamond. I know that means nothing to you if you're not in her company, but here's how impressive that is. She's in the top rank and the top 3 in her organization. So on any given day, she's number 1 in her company. So let me just ask you, how would that feel to recruit someone who steps into the number 1 position on any given day in her company? Well, that's Hayley. And it's not by accident. You know, there's so many people that say, oh, she just got lucky. She was in the right place at the right time. Today, Hayley's going to give you some of her insights and her wisdom about really how she did what she did and how she keeps qualifying and keep showing up at that same level every single day. So Hayley, hey, welcome to the call. It's good to have you.
Thank you. I'm like realizing that I still have my Facebook Messenger open and my Boxer open and my text message open and my Slack open. And it's like bing, 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 bing. So I'm like just shutting stuff down as you're talking to me.
Well, you know what?
Stop. It's nonstop.
That's the whole point, isn't it? It's about the reality of everything. So Hayley, you've been in the business about 5.5 years, right?
Yeah.
And was this your first network marketing experience?
It actually wasn't. So I got into network marketing actually by accident. One time around as a customer. Actually, I would say twice as a customer. So I was dealing with some health issues about 7 years ago, and somebody signed me up in a company without me really realizing, you know, what was happening. It was just sort of like a product I was buying, and they asked me if I wanted to help some other people in my Pilates studio do some cleanses and earn a little extra money. So I like ended up there, didn't really know what was going on. And after I sort of recruited everybody to do the cleanse and made a couple $100, I thought that was really fun and great. Like nobody really explained anything else to me, and I didn't really understand the business or even know it was a business. Right. So that's sort of where it ended. Then flash forward maybe another 6 months later, somebody did it again in another company, recommended a nutritionist actually that I take certain supplements, and I did. And after about 3 or 4 months, you know, you forget like to take one day, and then you forget another day, and all of a sudden you have a box arriving and the product's not gone yet. So I started getting really irritated that I couldn't stop it. And the person who signed me up hadn't taken any interest in explaining to me what was going on or how to get in and change my order, or so that was the second instance. And then I circle around, came back to where I am right now. And, again, kind of thought that I was just coming in to have like an extra something to offer my existing Pilates and yoga clients, and had these sort of visions of like, hey, if I just make like, you know, an extra $500 a month, or, you know, now it's like I'm probably making $500 a half hour, right? Like I had no idea like where the business model would go.
Exactly.
There really is one until I actually attended a live event at some point. It was like, oh my gosh, this is like the real deal. Like people actually make more than 6 figures, like more than $100,000 a year. This is how they do it. It's residual income, right?
Yeah. Wow. And so you're with doTERRA. You started 5.5 years ago. How did you get where you are? And I guess more importantly, you know, was there a game plan going in? Did you have a mindset? Because, I mean, you've got an incredible business mind. And I wonder if there was a mindset going in, or if it uncovered, I know you didn't stumble into it, but did you uncover it as you went? How did that work?
I did uncover it as I went. I would say that when I came in, like I mentioned before, I was more interested in the product and just sharing it with the existing, I'll call it like existing warm market that I had.
Yeah.
Funny thing is that my warm market wasn't interested. Funny thing is that none of my clients bought the product from me. But what I had been doing at the time that I got involved with doTERRA is that I was simultaneously going through a health coaching certification. And this was also, I would say it was almost, well, when I started the health coaching certification, I would say it was probably about 6.5 years ago, maybe a year before. So I was getting more involved in, the sort of online community world, and branching out and meeting people outside of like my existing neighborhood. So when you open up that whole world of like the World Wide Web, then you have all of a sudden all of these new people in your life. And when I started talking about my journey and my path, and people I didn't know were interested, then I saw all this possibility of all of these clients. They were not clients, but the same idea, like my health coaching clients, coming in and tapping into this. And then it just started to have like a mind of its own. Yeah. And I really didn't know what I was doing in the beginning. I mean, I just looked at the basics of the compensation plan and was like, okay, this is how many leadership legs I need to have today. And then next month, once I hit that rank, I need to go here. And then I need to go here. Like, there was nothing that we give people now existing back then. Nothing. It was just like, here's the basic comp plan. And then it was this meeting on the phone 100 hours a day until I started to get smart about, having like my calls only be 15 minutes to start, and like a landing page that they have to look at first, and then a series of emails to make sure they're actually qualified leads, and that kind of thing. I just got tired of saying the same thing over and over and over and over again, and spending my whole day, every waking moment talking to people. But you know what? That's what you got to do in the beginning. I mean, I'm super grateful that I did that process.
Right. So what I'm hearing is that number one, you did a lot of numbers, right? Like you said, you talked and it wasn't to your warm market, which is huge because so many people get stuck thinking they have to convert their warm market. So what is it? Is that what it is that caused you to go online? Was it, that feeling like your warm market wasn't responding to you? And the
no, I was doing it anyway. I was just like wanting to expand. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I never felt like, well, my warm market wasn't interested, and I didn't want to just continue to, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and not getting any different results. And so the definition of marketing is selling a product to somebody who already wants it, right? So if my existing warm market is not interested in my marketing, then they're not my warm market, right? They might live close to me, but they're not my real ideal client avatar. So it just occurred to me, like, I have to kind of get out of, that genre of people, women that were, maybe 35 to 55 years old who were doing Pilates. They were spending all of their disposable income on Pilates, and they were not interested in spending more. So I had to just open up a different mindset of, okay, who is interested in spending disposable income on their health and well-being and not just their Pilates lessons.
Right. Wow. What a great insight to say marketing is selling to somebody who wants your product, because so many people are stuck in that mindset of convincing people that they should want this product. Right.
Now, there are strategic ways to do that, right? Yeah. A lot of times people do want the product, but they're afraid of the time commitment that they have to spend, or what their husband's going to say, or the lack of funds that are going to be in their bank account once they pay for the product. And you have to work them through all of those objections and get to the core of what they're looking for. But before you even go there, you have to decide.
The right person matters. Yeah. Wow. So let me back up for a minute. And my thing is all about mindset. So it's about, your belief. It's about your determination. It's about your sense of value and worthiness. So if you had to look at those three things, what do you think is most important for you? What was the most important thing for you? Was it your belief in your own ability, your determination you were going to make a difference, or whatever, get to the top, or was it your value and worthiness? What do you think?
Well, I actually didn't have like these dreams of getting to the top in the beginning. In fact, I have to admit, like when I went to my first doTERRA leadership convention and I saw, the one presidential diamond that existed at the time, and then other people who were the blue diamond rank who were making to me what was unfathomable amounts of money at like $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month. I did not necessarily have a belief that I wanted to be at the top. Mm-hmm. I thought it was possible, but it wasn't a conscious belief at that time. I think it became conscious, like once you hit one spot, then the possibility unfolds that the next phase is available, and then the next phase. So, when I ranked premier and then silver, I knew I could go gold. And when I went gold, I knew I could be platinum. And when I went platinum, I knew I could be diamond. And then at some point I knew like the rest was available. Yeah. I've always been just a very determined person. So when I make a decision that I want to do something, I'm just going to do it. Like I've always been like that as a kid. And my daughter is the exact same way, I'm noticing, which is like a blessing and a curse, right? Exactly. She did the funniest thing to me the other day. I don't know if you are on my mailing list, but I'm actually going to record my own podcast on this today. I said, so she's obsessed with these little Shoppy toys. I don't know if you know what they are. They're the Shopkins developed into the Shoppies. And she's got like right upstairs here, this dollhouse that keeps expanding room by room by room. And like, she needs this one, and then she needs this one. And then she doesn't have that girl. I'm like, but you have 50 girls, but I don't have that girl. And then this. So finally I just looked at her. I was like, Madeline, get a job. Like, I am not going to fund this Shoppies habit forever. Go make some money.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and do it. She's like, all right, I'll just go ahead and start a new YouTube channel and film the Shoppy life. And I was like, that's so awesome. Like, she didn't say to me, well, if I make my bed, will you pay me $1? Like,
yeah.
It was just like there. It was like natural. It was like, I'm just going to do this and people are going to love it. And people are going to pay me to watch my YouTube videos.
Where did she get that? Wow. Exciting. So determination was a big one. When do you think, or did you ever have a lack of belief, or is that part of your makeup that you've always believed in yourself?
I think it's part of my makeup.
Yeah.
I mean, there are certain times where, I'm sure everybody this happens to, and even at these higher ranks, like sometimes I look at my organization and I'm like, really? Like, is it all falling apart underneath of me? Like, is this business model real and sustainable? You know? So every once in a while I have it like creep up and I go, could I do this again? Can I keep doing this? Can other people do it? Right. But that like lasts like 1 second. I'm like, of course it's possible. You just do it. You just wake up and you commit to the fire that's burning inside of you. And, I just got off of a call with a brand new person who's, just enrolled, and she's trying to figure out like, how to build her business. And I said to her, you have to love what you do. And when you have that fire burning inside of you, nobody's offended by you sharing what you do with them. It's just a different energy, you know?
Right. I agree. Selling feels really different than sharing the fire. Absolutely.
Yeah. Or like just being super committed to help people. Like, some of my favorite moments are when I'm doing some of my VIP Zooms for my team or paid programs that I do myself, because those are the people who want it. So I'm like, I know I can help them because they're there. They're like meeting me halfway or more than halfway. You know what I mean?
So let's talk about that, because that's something that I think so many people want to know. When they're out recruiting, when they're out looking for someone to add to the team, what do you think the most important qualities are for someone who's going to come in and and be incredibly successful. So if I'm looking to recruit somebody, what are the qualities I need to look for from your opinion?
So I don't necessarily look for qualities. I look for anybody who has a pulse and then I run with people who are willing to do the work. Okay. So it's not like I'm like specifically like, because I think if you're, look, I mean, it's different when you're doing online marketing, because when you're doing online marketing, obviously people are searching and they're not going to stay on your site if they're not the right client avatar, if they don't connect with you. So there has to be copywriting that connects. There has to be images that connect. Like I remember getting on somebody's site the other day. I was actually talking to my guy who does my Facebook stuff, and he sent me a landing page that he wanted me to look at. I was like, that's the ugliest page I've ever seen in my life. I would never stay on that page. He's like, but it works. I'm like, but it wouldn't work for me, right? So like when you're talking about online stuff, that it's a totally different, totally different search. But when you are out there in your normal everyday life, I'm just sharing me. And when I have conversations with people, then it's like, I'm never going to say no to anybody, but I will invest my time with people who are committed and they have a thicker skin. Like this business involves any business. I shouldn't say this business. Yeah. I should say you're an entrepreneur, period. You're going to have highs and lows every day in your business. Right. You're going to have sometimes more lows than highs, and you're often going to have as many lows as highs. Like, let's face it, like you can be living your passion, but there's, like you and I just talked about this before we got on, there's grunt work, right? There has to be done in every business. Sometimes you can hire that out. Oftentimes you can't because it's just not as good if it's not coming from you, because you're the face of your business. Right. So look, I mean, people are going to say no to you, and you're going to think people are committed, and they're really not committed. They don't know what it takes. I have to read you a very interesting, I should open up my text messages again, because I have to read this very interesting text message to you. Okay. It's a woman who I enrolled a while ago, and was one of those classic, like didn't do anything. Right. And so I reached out to her, to see how she was doing, just because I knew like she hasn't doing anything, and she's in a spot where, like, let's be honest, we could use some, and she's cute and adorable and like had a great personality. And I just thought it was great for her. I can't get my text message to open up for some reason now. Let me just, oh, here it is in front of this screen. So she says, so I said to her, you know, hey, how are you doing? And let me roll back. And she's like, great. You know, how are you doing? It's so good to hear from you. And then so immediately she comes back with, not like necessarily like in the defense, but just she wants to, of course, justify why she's not doing anything. Yeah. So she says, oh, here it is. She says, hey, I'm doing great. I said, hey, how are you doing? Are you still using your oils? Yeah, I'm great. I'm still using them. I have a bunch stocked up. So I haven't ordered in a while, but probably will soon. How are you? Now, first of all, I know she doesn't have a bunch stocked up because she ordered the smallest kit, never ordered again. That was like a year ago, but whatever. So I said, I'm great. I'm totally wishing you were joining us and making this really happen. I really believe you had so much potential. She said, I know. I wish I could have made it work. I just couldn't get any traction. And I couldn't afford to keep paying every month. Well, she wasn't paying every month because she never did anything after her first order. Right. I hope business is going great. I said, so what did you try to do just out of curiosity to get quote unquote traction? And she said, well, let some friends and family know. I posted on Facebook. I said, did you host any classes? Did you try running a webinar? Did you do a Facebook ad? Did you do any serious posts other than just like, hey, anybody wants Serenity? Right. Did you create a landing page on your website? Did you do any meetup groups? Just FYI, your friends and family are not going to be your business model. Yeah. That would be like saying I'm going to open up a shoe store and I hope my family shops for a lot of shoes. Otherwise my store is going to fall apart. It would be like me opening up a vegan restaurant and like hoping that my husband and my family, well, not one person eats the way that I eat. So like that would be a flop. Right. Yeah. So I said, and your friends in your Facebook group, because most people don't have a Facebook page, they just have a Facebook group, right? So if you're just posting on your wall, then that's the same as talking to your family, right? Like you're creating a new business, and you would have to focus on creating a new market. Like, you would think that the Pilates and the essential oils would have been similar, but they were different, right?
Yeah.
So I said a new clientele, a new audience, and that actually takes a while. And you have to have a lot of consistency. So she says, I hear you. I still love the idea of selling. I guess I'm not doing it right. I got burnt out. So I said, so she must have been typing that while I was still typing. I said, that would be like saying I'm going to be a health or a life coach, and I hope my friends all hire me. Or they all. So anyway, I said, how long did you try before you got burnt out? I can't remember. Maybe a few months. Yeah. So I said, so did you put like a full day's work in for 6 months and it didn't work? No. At least she's being honest, right?
Yeah.
How much time did you put in? So she wrote, clearly not enough, with a smiley face.
Yeah.
I said, laughing out loud, that's what I figured. That's what happens to most people, just by the way. You think all your friends and family are going to buy, so you quit when they don't. And FYI, none of my friends bought until I was making $500,000 a year. Right.
Wow.
Just in case you were wondering, I still build a business with a cold audience, with a commitment, and with my own perseverance. And that's why I have calls with you guys every week to help you, mentor you through like how I did it. Yeah. She says, if I decide to give it another try, I'll definitely do it another way. Clearly what it was doing wasn't working. And I said, of course it wasn't working, because you weren't targeting the right audience. You have to find people who already want the oils,
right,
and holistic products in their lives, and are willing to invest in themselves.
Right.
And in order to do that, your friends and family clearly are not that group. And by the way, neither are you. Because if you were, then you would have been investing every month in laundry detergent and hand soap and toothpaste and shampoo, instead of going to Whole Foods and buying it.
Right.
You would be buying your own company's product, especially when you're buying that stuff somewhere else anyway. I'm not trying to offend you, I'm just being honest. And she just said, I'm none taken. Thank you very much. I hear you, with a smiley face. The reason I'm saying this is because that's the kind of person you don't want. You asked me who I'm trying to attract. Well, I'm trying to attract people who understand what building a business is.
Yeah.
And so many people, they have no idea what it takes to properly market themselves and their company, be consistent, be coachable. She never got on one call, not one.
Wow.
And she doesn't have the perseverance or the determination. So it's like, well, I just run to people who I see exhibiting those skills, and then I just don't spend a lot of time with the people who don't. Now, there's going to be people who don't have success,
right,
but are moving, doing the things, and that's that you still want to spend time with them and then work with them.
So, out of curiosity, how can you tell when someone has the perseverance, the work ethic, what is it you're looking for? So if I'm out in the world and I'm looking for the person that meets that qualification, how do you know? How do you know they've got it?
I mean, I guess they're probably bugging me a lot. They're like,
so they're reaching out to you.
Questions. They want to get educated. They're showing up week after week on the mentor calls. I can see from their own social media feed, they're doing things. They're signing up for company events. They're booking. The volume is coming in. Like, how can it not? I don't understand, because like when I started my business, I ranked to the first rank of the company, which is elite. Well, first, like real, in a month.
Yeah.
In a month. Like 3,000 because I was just doing activity, and I didn't have any training. I didn't have any guides. I didn't have any mentorship. I just knew that in order to build this, you have to sell product. In order to sell product, you have to make people really interested in getting it. And it's not always like the product itself. It's the excitement and energy around it. So I
think the questions I always get from people is, how can I make this person want it? How can I, twist their arm? How can I get them? And how do I coach somebody who won't show up? Leaders always say that. How do I coach somebody who won't return my phone calls? And I always want to beat my head against the wall. I'm like, okay, if they're not returning your phone calls, they're the wrong person.
Yeah. So that person is not coachable.
There you go. And that's an amazing aha.
I hope she's not watching your podcast.
Exactly.
Actually, if she is, then she's coachable, and it's a good thing, right?
So tell me, Hayley, what's your secret sauce? What is it that causes you to have the kind of success you have? If you had to pick something we haven't already talked about, what would it be?
I think I just really love what I'm doing, even though I complain about like certain aspects of it. And there are days I just want to be like, oh, what is going on with people? I really like what I'm doing. I love my product. I love the company. I love the people that are in corporate. I love the leaders that I have on my team. I love the people, that are in the cross lines around me. I love the activities that we're doing. I love the global mission that we have.
Yeah.
I love the paycheck. I love the ability to just have a bigger life, both in ourselves. Like here I am in my second home. Who would have thought, right?
Yeah.
In my second home that I have for the summer, where I can just be where I want to be and do what I want to do. And, not worry about leaving at 3:30 in the afternoon to pick up my daughter at camp, because I can make that happen if I want to. But I also, in my back office yesterday, got a notification that a $2,500 check from me to our Healing Hands Foundation was given, because I committed to give $20,000 a couple months ago to our cause. And that just makes me feel good that we have the means to do that. So it's just like, I get to help my team. I get to help myself. I get to help, my family. Yesterday, my daughter has had a friend here all week. She's 8. My daughter's 8. You met her. And she had a friend here come last night. She had a friend last week come in. They've been here all week. And so I put them to bed. And then all of a sudden I turned around in my room and they're both standing there in my room like, what's going on? And so her friend's crying and Madeline's like, Neva had a bad dream. And so I was like, do you guys want some oils? So they're both like, yeah. So I took the serenity to help Neva with her falling back asleep and calming her. Madeline wants to know if she can have lemon because that makes her happy. Then they want to know if I can snuggle with them. And then they fall back asleep. And in the morning, Madeline wakes up and says, my ear's hurting. Can I have some Melaleuca? Like, I just love that we have, it's the product, it's the energy, it's the spirituality, it's the health and well-being, it's the financial component, it's just everything.
Right. I mean, what
we're
I
doing
feel
good things for people.
I just hear so much gratitude and love and appreciation in you. And what I'm wondering is, have you always been that way? Did you choose it? Did you look for things to love? I mean, what I mean is, because I agree with you. I do not think I was always like that. Okay.
And it's interesting that you're bringing that up, because I just had a really challenging week the week before with family in town. And I think I grew up in a household where there was a lot of complaining and a lot of discontent. There was a lot of love, but there was a lot of just like expectations that other people should do things, and if they didn't, then we would be unhappy. Or if he doesn't do that, if she doesn't do that, I'm not going to be happy. And I went through a whole path in my life, the first 25 years, that I don't even feel like I chose. It was sort of like, you do this, you should do this, and you should do this, and kind of woke up at like 40 and was like, I'm not happy. Like, I hate my job. I hate my body. I hate the way I feel. I have headaches. My skin is bad. My hair is not growing anymore. Like, I've had digestive issues my whole life. And it was a combination of, working with like my physical health with the products, but it was also a huge component in choosing is the work that you have to do on yourself to be in this business. Like, you have to rise in order to be successful. Like, it's not just about selling product. Like, you have to figure out how to be grateful. You have to figure out how to ask for abundance. You have to be able to figure out how to love. You have to be able to figure out how to forgive. You have to be able to figure out how not to expect. And all of that comes with the personal development that you either get from the company or upline, or that you purposely seek out on the side, right? Who's watching this podcast or listening to this podcast is obviously seeking that, right? Like, it's a choice. It's a conscious choice. Yeah. And I just did a Facebook Live this morning about, what you think about is what you bring about. And it's totally true. Like, if you think you got to pay your bills and you need to make $40,000 a year, then you'll make $40,000 a year, because that's what you're thinking about. Like, I got to get this built, right? And if you think about the fact that you want to make $40,000 a month, then you have to like really open up and expand in order to let that happen. And it's a conscious choice. You got to let go of all the stories that are already existing in your brain, like I had from my childhood, and decide that you're not going to follow that pattern anymore.
Yeah.
Because our subconscious mind is like scary what it tries to do to us.
I agree. You know, the thing I find fascinating is that, you know, some products are really like hands-on. You want to demonstrate it, you want to taste it, you want to touch it, you want to smell it. And some products are very easy to sell online because they don't require kind of all of that. And it would appear as though essential oils would be a product that people really have to have a personal experience with. And yet your business is, how much of it is online? Like 90%?
Yeah.
So how did you do that? How did you take a tangible product and get people engaged digitally online?
You know, what I've learned a lot in the course of this business is that copy is everything. And when you learn how to express yourself through artful words, like really artful words that sing to somebody else's heart, right? Like you're real, like somebody's like, oh, I need that, right? A lot of it's imagery and a lot of it's literally copy. They call it in the world, copy that converts. Like we are in this business selling everything. We are selling the product. We are selling the lifestyle. We are selling the belief. We are selling the loyalty rewards to our already existing members. We're selling events to our already existing teams. We're selling conventions. We're selling promos every single month. We're selling the idea of just stepping up and getting through a horrible summer, right? We're selling all the time. And selling, the word selling can have a different definition. It doesn't mean that you have to like put money down to buy something. It means like I'm engaging you. Like we are having a discussion. That's what really social media is. It's the artful discussion that happens socially on media.
That's fantastic. So do you do a lot of ad copy, and tell me a little bit about just the bare minimum. So you advertise, and when you do, what do you close to? What is it you're trying to get people to do? Are you trying to get them to go buy immediately and send them to your website?
No, I try to get people on the phone with me. So I sell to the call. Like I want to get somebody on the phone. I want to see what they're like. I do want to see if I want to work with them. I mean, I said I would take anybody, and sure, I'll take anybody's money. But I do want to have like some kind of connection before that happens. I don't only build my business through paid advertising. I definitely build my business through branding, you know, itself, through social media, through Facebook Lives, through Instagram Lives, through Instagram stories. Like I do believe I'm selling the lifestyle, and then people, you know, come in and they might even see an ad and be like, wow, I've seen you all over social media, or they might be a cold audience. I would say the majority of the growth of my business is not necessarily the paid advertising. It's the commitment to getting in and working with the people that are there. You know, I might bring in 10 people a month, 15 people a month, sometimes on a great month, 20 people a month. But that, I don't think that itself is alone what's building my business. It's the excitement, it's the energy, it's the perseverance still, the commitment to my own team, the coaching, the guidance, the mentorship, the connection. Like, in 2 weeks, I'm having like a group of people coming in here that are not even enrolled to me. They're just like a group of a certain rank of people that I just want to get closer to. And then, you know, I've got my diamond retreat right after that. I'm already planning in the fall, like, you know, who do I want to spend time with? Because it's the personal connection.
Wow. So if you were going to start all over again, you know, if you were going to do it all over again and you went back to zero, what would be the most important number one thing you would do?
I probably would never do it again. No, I'm just kidding. If I was going to do it again, what I would say is that I would really try to maybe more selectively choose the people in key positions in my team. I think that one of the downsides about finding people online is that you don't really know them well, and people will tell you, it's like, this is so funny, this is like an awesome comparison. So I watch The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. Just Hayley watches The Bachelor, The Bachelorette. It's like one of my favorite shows, just honestly from a pure marketing standpoint. But they've been advertising the show after it called The Proposal. So I'm like, okay, what's all this hype? Last night I actually DVR'd it last week and I watched it for the first time. Yeah. And it's like this person literally sits behind a screen for the whole hour, and then they've got 10 contestants, and like right away within the first 5 minutes they eliminate 3 just based on appearance, I guess. And then over the course of the hour they limit it down to 2, and the man proposed on the show to a woman he doesn't even know. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, what are the chances of that happening, right? Like, or lasting? It's like ridiculous. But I'm bringing this up because this is what it is kind of like when you meet somebody on social media. Like, they could have like a totally awesome Facebook crowd. They could be like a complete psychopath, right? Yeah. And totally not connect. I think that, you know, I can see your face across the screen, but there's something about the physical aura that is what actually drives the energy and the connection. So, you know, I'm not complaining at all. Like I always say, like, what would I have done differently? Nothing. What would I do differently? Everything, you know. I never would change the way that I did it. I mean, look, I'm the top ranked person, you know, one of the top ranked people in the company. I love where I am. I'm so proud of what I've done. But I also kind of wonder, like, what if I had just been selective? What if I, instead of going like, okay, we're ready, you're going to be the person, this is spot, that I just like really found like people who wanted to lock arms and really move forward with me. But then again, it could be hindsight's 2020. You could find that person, they could bump, you know? Yeah. So, yeah.
All right. So one more question is, I'm wondering if, you know, for our listeners, what they always want to know is, you know, what's of everything you've said, it's all been wonderful, but what's the one piece of advice you would give me that is that nugget from Hayley? This is the one thing, if you just know this, do this, become this, what would it be? What would be that thing you'd give them?
I would just say don't give up. You know, I had a girl come to me yesterday telling me that she had some serious health issues with her husband, and then she had to go get a job, and they needed health insurance, and she just announced to her whole downline that she was taking a step back. And I was like, why? Like, why not just silently step back, take a break? Like, this business is yours for life. Like, you don't have to decide you're in or you're out this month, right? Like, just be consistent and like check your back office or send a text. Like, she's got just a few people in her organization. It wasn't even like a massive team that she had. Like, just remind yourself that in 5 years, you could have 2 awesome leaders that found you.
Right.
You know, so, you know, just be consistent. It might not be like the path to diamond in 6 months, but even if it's path to diamond in 10 years while you're doing something else, like you could wake up 10 years from now, retire, and be making $200,000 a year. Like, that would be nice, you know?
Right. Wow. When you think about mindset training, I know you've worked with me, you've worked with other coaches, you work with a lot of big names in the industry. What's the most important thing you think you've ever learned from anyone around mindset, around belief, you know, those kinds of things?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the most significant things I've learned has been something that you say and something that my other coach, Brooke Castillo, says, which is similar but different. You both talk about, you know, the subconscious layers of the mind, the unconscious layers of the mind, and how we have, like, those are the words that are speaking to us. And even if we don't know that they're talking, that's how we behave.
Exactly.
Right. So it's like, we have to do a little like digging to find out what those words really are, so that we can decide to rewrite it. So, you know, when you react a certain way, like, I'm just trying to think, when we started this call, I was telling you how, you know, Wes had the door open and the gate open, and I went and told him, hey, close that. And then he went to take the girls to camp, and I went to go get my bag, and I came back and the door was still open, right? So like, instead of like deciding to be mad about that, I just decided to think that he forgot. Like, you know, but my normal old self would have been like, irritated. And then, but here's the thing. You have the feelings, but most people don't dig enough to figure out why they're feeling that. And that's the problem. So once you figure out, like, why am I so angry?
All right.
And then people will say, I don't know why I'm angry. Well, yes, you do. You know why you're angry. Why are you angry? I'm angry because he doesn't care about me. I'm angry because he doesn't listen to me. Well, that's not the real truth.
Right.
The real truth is maybe that he forgot.
Maybe. Right.
Maybe he did close the gate and it didn't actually shut, but it was the front door. Wes is in the background listening to me. It was the front door that was the
girls left it open.
Okay, so there it was. The girls, the 8-year-olds left it open. So instead of me like getting super grr about it, I just have to, and sometimes it takes years to change that subconscious pattern. Because I used to like I'd feel it physically in my body, and then I would react. Not just feel, but I'd react.
Right.
And that's not good because it's this constant back and forth, right?
Right.
So it's like, okay, I don't like that feeling. What am I thinking that's giving me that feeling? Right. Okay, I'm going to stop that thought pattern. And then eventually you can give yourself a new thought pattern that triggers instead of the old thought pattern. So hearing that from you in the way that you speak about it, and hearing it from Brooke in the way that she speaks about it, and the way that I was trained when I went through my own certification, it's the same idea. Yeah. And it's crucial to your business.
Awareness. It's all about awareness, isn't it? Awareness is everything.
Yeah.
What I love about you, you always tell it like it is. You always are authentically you. You're right out there. People who meet you, they get a sense of who you are because you're real. And I listening to you as you were talking about recruiting and meeting people, it feels to me like that's really part of your secret sauce, is being real, being authentic, putting it all out there. I've never seen you, half-ass it, never. You're always 100% in. And I just feel like you are such an amazing model for others who want to get to the top in this industry. So I just want to say, for everybody else who's sitting on the other side, we just want to say thanks. Because,
thank you.
Yeah, you are an extraordinary leader and model for those of us who look and say, it is possible. It is possible. She did it. I can do it. So we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your time today. I appreciate it immensely. You always have such great insight and wisdom and so many good value to give to people. So I appreciate it.
Well, great. I'm looking forward to seeing you soon.
All right. See you next week. 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Network Marketing Mindset Podcast with Deb Erickson. To learn more about Deb's business mindset coaching, classes, memberships, and leadership programs, visit us at icaninstitute.com. And for free weekly tips and techniques to help you develop and grow your business, join our Facebook community today at facebook.com/groups/network marketing mindset with Deb.